Alright, hello everyone. I hope we're doing well today. We are back with the 5-digit UK Cup. Once again, we are in the semi-finals, as this weekend is, and we have Umaroth versus Vampella, which will be a very interesting map, both of these players being the more aim-focused style. We are currently in the warm-ups, and I am joined today by Cathal in the commentating booth. How are we doing today?
Hello, how are we doing, Torva?
Oh, I'm doing well, bro. I'm a bit ill, but we're all good. How about you?
Yeah, pretty good. Bit quite alive, bit nervous. First time custom, but I think it'll be fun.
Oh, you'll be fine, mate. Don't worry. As long as you've got professional yapping in your veins, you'll be chilling.
Oh, half and half, but yeah, it's going to be an exciting match.
Yeah.
And definitely semi. I kind of got knocked out, so I've been a bit below on the or keeping up with stuff. It's semis though. It's getting to the end stages, and yeah, hopefully it'll be an exciting match.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, saying that in the later stages, this is where, you know, it's pretty much just like the best players remaining. And I mean, these two are kind of perfect examples of that, where Umaroth and Vampella have, I mean, they're here in the losers bracket, sure, but they've made it this far in the losers bracket where they've been taking out everyone around them. Umaroth only actually coming down to the losers bracket last week. And Vampella, I believe, has been doing the, just been on the miracle run where they've just been fighting up for ages now.
Oh, you do love to see a miracle run, for sure.
Yeah.
I looked at the I looked at the challenge bracket, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, this is probably the most stacked I've seen it in a while. Obviously, you look at like the later, or the earlier stages in the bracket, and, you know, it's kind of everyone for themselves, but now you're looking at it and it's like, oh, it's starting to get a bit challenging.
Yeah, pretty much every player now at this point has, you know, proven themselves in either a number of tournaments or at least within like that 5-digit UK scene. Like every player has got some sort of reputation to them, and yeah, at this point now it's just each of those players who are relatively known against each other. I will say, this is quite a funny warm-up map for me to see, because, again, as far as I was saying earlier, both these players are aim-focused players, and you can kind of see it. But you got Umaroth actually comboing and beating out on accuracy when it comes to the warm-up map on 233 BPM streams, which is maybe something you might want to keep in your memory for later in this match, where, you know, if they don't ban every single mechanical pick in the match, maybe it could be the curveball that Umaroth could throw later in the match.
Oh, 100%. I think some of the stamina and stream intensive maps could be, not say a 50-50, but, you know, from looking at this warm-up, if Umaroth is getting this sack and this combo, which is kind of disgusting at the moment, you know, she could definitely put it out later in the match.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, drop a combo on the ending burst. It's not so important. It's not like you got a point on the line yet. But yeah, see that secret mechanical ability just kind of might come out in clutch later. But that is the warm-ups done for both of these players, and it is time for them to roll and pick and choose who goes first on bans, who goes first in map picks. Sorry, I said the wrong game then.
Umaroth choosing to go for the first ban.
Yeah, and
I wonder what it will be. I mean, pretty much everything in this pool is, it's getting to obviously later stages. It's all a bit tricky, but I think all these maps are completely fine for both of them. Obviously, you know, you were saying just a minute ago how Umaroth was comboing that warm up with good combo. Obviously, accuracy is still obviously better than Vampella's, but, you know, from looking at it, she seems pretty confident on most things here.
Yeah, I think the only map that like both of these players probably don't want to go to would be that DT3, that, you know, 280 BPM, very high intensity but relatively short map of those like high bursts. And both of those players, you know, aren't going to be very confident on a map like that, so it'd be battle of a miscount. But it seems Umaroth wants to immediately get rid of that DT1.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, it's 10.3, so I feel like she's not confident on 10.3. It's a completely fair ban. The rest of everything else in the pool, you know, at maximum 10, so the extra 0.3 might not be as comfortable for her.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, getting to those like AR10, like anything between like AR9 and AR10 range, most of these players will probably be very comfortable with because of that, you know, those hard rock picks, or just the normal picks in general, or even these lower AR DTs. But then when it gets to those, you know, higher DTs, maybe some of them aren't as experienced with it because, you know, that high AR DT isn't really something that's common in, especially this bracket of tournament. And, you know, anything above 10 is probably pushing that comfort zone. But that is the No Mod 6 and DT2 ban from Vampella. Getting rid of that high intensity Vision Control burst to DT2 and the really, really low AR reading that for that No Mod 6.
Yeah, fair bans. I mean, I personally played the No Mod 6 and I did not enjoy that one bit. If I'm being honest, obviously, we're not obviously playing this week, but I just, I gave everything in the pool go just to see what it was like, and that was one map I did not like. I know it was played in a previous match, I'm pretty sure. I think it was Venetti.
Yeah, it was Venetti versus Shimoy got played, and
yeah.
I believe Venetti pulled out a full combo on it, which was absurd. That is the first pick coming out for Umaroth there, going for that hidden 2, going into that hidden confidence that we've seen from Umaroth quite a decent bit in this tournament. And, you know, picking into the hidden 2, which is arguably one of the most hidden picks in the pool. It's just low AR hidden, you know, that hidden comfortability is going to need to be there. And this is pretty much probably one of the best maps to test that hidden comfortability. Why is Umaroth on the wrong map? There we go, that's fixed.
I got my audio fixed there. I couldn't not hear anything for the first couple maps or warm-ups, but yeah, getting this hidden 2, this was I'm not a very big hidden player, but you know, these two players so far look pretty comfortable. We were took a bit of back at the start, but it's early days.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, small amount drop from Umaroth, as you're saying, and I mean, Vampella just kind of cruising on that accuracy game right now. I mean, 95, they're dropping a small bit on the section, but, you know, that score lead isn't too major for either player right now. They're both holding on to pretty much the same combo. And, yeah, major accuracy drop now from Vampella, whereas Umaroth has been kind of, like, staying on that middle ground right now on their accuracy, so they've not been going up much, they've not been going down either, which is kind of something, you know, it's not going to be put in a bad situation, not when your opponent's, you know, dropping a bit of accuracy here and there.
No, I'd agree, yeah. I mean, it could, you know, if these accuracies do stay the same throughout the rest of the map, it could just come down to combo game. Oh, and they both drop at the same time. Everyone's dropping a tiny bit more, but pretty equal.
Yeah, I mean, oh, yeah, they both just keep trading out their misses, and there was a traded miss right at the start of the map. There was one a few moments ago, and now there's another one, but Vampella has come out with the last miss, which means Umaroth is going to be having a small bit of combo advantage, not by much, but, you know, just a small bit in the last quarter of the map. But Vampella does have that 0.6, or, yeah, no, 0.8 almost to actually lead right now.
The combo's not too far apart either, but and again, dropping at the same time, it could just come down to a tiny bit of an act battle unless someone gets a bit of combo towards the end part. At the very end part, actually. I didn't realise it's that far in.
Yeah, and I mean, literally right at the end of the map at this point, Umaroth has came out with, you know, just that bit of a score lead towards the end. I believe this is the map over, but we haven't seen the results screen. I do believe, however, it would be a point to Umaroth if it's just, yeah, it is a point to Umaroth, who did come out with a clutch on the accuracy right at the ending of the map. It's a bit unfortunate we didn't get to see the scoreline and all that. Sometimes Bancho just likes to mess with us. But yeah, that is the first point. Yeah. Yeah, classic Bancho, agreed.
I'd like to see, hoping the MP link gets released, I'd like to see the act difference in that last bit.
Oh yeah,
it must have come down to, yeah, easily.
Like they like Umaroth fought their way up on the accuracy and Vampella. They start fighting back up as well, but then they dropped a small bit more towards the ending. Oh, but we do get to see the Hard Rock 1 pick from Vampella going into that Salamander. Hard Rock 1 by Deco27. Now, this is, from what I remember, a kind of just, it's kind of just, you know, a standard map. It's a Hard Rock 1, it's got Drain, and there's nothing too much to worry about. The CS size is relatively comfortable, CS 5.2, and you get some small bit of consistency check in here with it being 2 minutes 32, but nothing, you know, absolutely crazy where your nerves are going to absolutely cripple you in a map like this.
Yeah, I'd say it's quite a consistent map. And in Vampella, you know, picking it first. If they feel pretty confident in doing it, then they could pull it out and get a point on the board.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, again, as we were going back earlier, I mean, both of them being those aim-focused players and both of them being quite consistent on those aim picks. So this being picked from Vampella does make quite a bit of sense to me anyway. And it's kind of just going to be that whoever misses first, or whoever misses in general, I think it will be the battle between these two players on a map like this. And so far, Umaroth is definitely taking the early lead with an accuracy of 98% almost.
Yeah, Vampella with a bit of an act drop at the start, but again, same thing happened in the first map. I mean, to an extent, you know, act drops happen at the start. You know, something could happen a bit later, but overall, both pretty decent. 95 to 97, so a bit of an act difference, but keeps going like this, then Umaroth with the first drop.
Yeah, Umaroth finding a very unfortunate break there, which is definitely not a position you want to be in if you're Umaroth. I mean, Vampella is running away with this combo right now. About 450 and growing into the, you know, halfway point on the map. But Umaroth does still hold the ACK advantage, so if Vampella finds a break at any point soon, there is definitely more than enough time and definitely an opportunity for an overtake to happen again. But in this current situation, I don't think it's going to happen for a bit.
Yeah, Vampella holds through that middle section. It's quite a short map, so unless Vampella, I think, has a complete meltdown in this ending bit, could just go to them. But the same with Umaroth, you know, if she keeps holding throughout this last bit and Vampella breaks, it could just sway back to her.
Yeah, there's for sure definitely enough map remaining to close at the distance, but it is still 125k and probably still going to be growing a bit. And, you know, that window for, you know, the comeback for Umaroth there is going to be closing quite quickly soon because Vampella is still holding in the last quarter of the map. But a small bit of a shade coming out from Vampella there. However, it doesn't drop them any combo whatsoever as they get through these sections. The Flame doesn't claim either player. And Umaroth is fighting back, and there's the miss coming out from Vampella. It's exactly what Umaroth needed, but I don't know if there's going to be enough time, and especially when Umaroth finds the miss shortly after, it does solidify the point for Vampella.
Yeah, they're both holding pretty well, but those last few jumps seems to catch them both off. But obviously Vampella with the bigger combo game on that one, point goes to them.
Yeah, that ending is ruthless, to say the least, and you can see it in both players. Vampella's only miss coming out on the ending, and Umaroth's second miss coming out on the ending, which is unfortunately the thing that stopped them from bringing that point back. I believe they would have had just enough time because of their accuracy, but it just, you know, that miss does finalize that point in favor of Vampella.
Evens it out. Both points, or both maps that are picked, won by their respective sides, and Umaroth going for the number 2.
Yeah, the mechanics coming out early. Okay, I was expecting those no more twos to come out this early for both of these players, but maybe we're also feeling a bit confident on it.
Yeah, must have had decent practice on the map. If she feels confident picking it, and why not? Could also, to an extent, bit of mind games. Could throw off your opponent. Where Vampella probably might not have expected it. So coming into it, kind of need to be a bit prepared for any map. Because if people are practicing maps that are not, I don't say their forte, but you know, they've got to do it.
Yeah, I mean, at least when it came to my experience when playing tournaments, you know, if there's a map I'm specifically not comfortable with, say for example those hiddens, I practically never like practiced them fully because I was just always relying on the fact I'd ban them. But you know, when there are so many mechanical focused maps in the pool, in this case, and you can't really ban all of them, I think having to get some practice at least on one of them is going to be beneficial. And Umaroth, I mean, especially in that warm-up, picking those mechanics, I think was ready to do that. And Vampella does find that early break on this No More 2.
Finds the second one. Oh, and I say that, Umaroth goes as well. Oh, a bit of chain miss there, but I don't think it'll matter too much if they keep holding through this tiny bit. Vampella has a tiny bit of a combo lead, which could gain them, and they also break at the same time. Cast the Curse coming in through strong.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, Umaroth does have that small bit of accuracy. I mean, they dropped a few 100s there, but they still do hold the accuracy lead. So even if Vampella did hold on to that combo, I don't think it would have made too much of a big difference yet. But that scoreline could have maybe got a bit closer than what it is currently, about 50k. And, you know, against the last third of the map, these streams are going to get a bit intense. You know, the flowing patterns on this aren't, you know, just that standard comfortable patterns. The acceleration, deceleration, and some of these bits do get a bit more space. And special streams like that, which you see Vampella missing on, they get a lot more cut between the notes. And it is so difficult to hold combo. And when it's OD9, that note lock really comes into play. And you can see it coming in from Vampella, where they are struggling to hold on to anything. But Umaroth, I mean, they're at 94% accuracy. They kept accuracy pretty stable around that entire section. And they held on to that 670 combo.
Yeah, pretty decent from Umaroth on that one. Vampella not really having the best of times in that last third. Chain missed a lot, but Umaroth holds combo. Does miss at the end, but point secured by her.
Yeah, I mean, that No Mod 2 being, again, as I said at the start of the map, wasn't a map I expected to be picked up this early, but it paid off so well for Umaroth, closing at over 300k score difference, and rolling the triple lucky sevens. Oh, okay, Umaroth, I see we're gambling today, and the gamble has paid off.
See what Vampella will retaliate with. Straight back into the hard rocks. You know, more on the hard rock. Why not pick it again?
Yeah, picking definitely straight into their strong suits. Yeah, you know, just maybe trying to regain that comfortability they had on that hidden one, no, hard rock one, sorry, and maybe just to keep that going. This hard rock 2 is, as far as I remember, sorry, is a lot harder than the last week's hard rock 2, where, you know, that hard rock 2 was just 6.5. It's, you know, kind of your standard hard rock 2, but this time we're almost at, we're getting to that 6.8 category, where it's only a 0.2 difference, so it doesn't seem like it should make that big of a difference, but you would be genuinely surprised at how much more difficult that makes the precision on this map.
100%. I think CS for last week was 6.5, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So only going up 0.3, so it might not, you know, if you're playing 6.5 a lot, that 0.3 might not be a lot, but from going to pretty high CS down to pretty low CS, going into a higher one, it could not say like trip anyone up, but you kind of got to adjust to it. But, you know, Vampella's picking it again, must feel confident on it.
Yeah, I was saying whether it being from the drastic change to CS could definitely throw you off that flow. But, you know, if it being Vampella's pick, maybe they're looking confident to play it. But again, you've also got to keep in mind that Umaroth is still a very good aim player as well to match it, so they're going to be quite comfortable on this. But I have to say, whoever decided to map pull this map, I also love you once again, because you've picked another banger song. Just gotta enjoy the song sometimes. You gotta remember it's a rhythm game, and sometimes the music is what makes this game so fun, and this is definitely one of those songs. And, I mean, the precision on this doesn't seem to catch out either player just yet, but there is an accuracy lead for Vampella, getting to the first key eye, which does show that sort of a difficulty ramp coming in, but, you know, the only difference right now is that accuracy, which has caused a 30 to 40k score lead, but Umaroth finds a break at the 1/3 mark of the map. Oh, that is not ideal for Umaroth right now.
Yeah, break comes in, 1/3 of the way in. Vampella holds through, and I think Vampella's chilling near it for the time being. I think unless they were to break right now, and Umaroth gets through it, it's kind of cruising for them at the moment. And, you know, 97 AC compared to the 95, it's looking pretty good for them.
Yeah, I mean, even if Vampella does find a break relatively soon, not only will Umaroth have to hold on to combo, but they're going to have to fight as well for that accuracy. And there's the miss coming out from Vampella as I mentioned it. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm a bit ill, so if my voice goes a bit raspy, that's my bad. But yeah, Umaroth is gonna be fighting back up now. They have a chance to reclaim that score lead, but there's only about a quarter of the map left, and they're in the accuracy deficit, which makes it a lot harder to climb back. But with this Ki, the node density does increase a bit compared to the more filler sections around the map. But there's not much time left. Vampella finding another miss, which makes this a bit of an easier opportunity for Umaroth to fight back. That scoreline is closing quickly, but there's the miss from Umaroth, which does flatline their attempt at crawling that score back up.
Yeah, I think if Umaroth held through that, definitely, it's a tricky one because they're actually at 94, so potentially it would have been really close though, for sure, if Umaroth held through that last bit.
Yeah, I think it would have been generally just a difference of a few thousand, but, you know, that miss coming out from Umaroth literally right after Vampella's last miss did make it a bit unfortunate. Most of Vampella's misses are actually coming out with slider breaks, which is not too surprising when it comes to being like CS at 6.8, holding onto sliders and tracking them perfectly, especially when they get a bit more intense like those Ki's did. It can be super difficult to track properly.
100%. Sometimes you either like click a bit too early when your mouse isn't over it, or your cursor, sorry, or sometimes you just completely over aim it and just click. You'll click the circle but go over it. But yeah, pretty decent from Vampella on that. Scores 2-2. See what Umaroth goes for next.
Yeah, both these players have been really neck and neck. They haven't had a breakpoint just yet, which will be, especially at this point in the match, will be a very critical point to take. Yeah, as with it being Umaroth's pick, I do wonder what they'll pick into, because that DC3 is still open. If they want to go for something that maybe might throw Vampella off, they could pick into it. But it seems Umaroth is going to kind of pick into a similar idea that Vampella did and just continue on something they're comfortable with and they won on. And they're going to pick into that hidden 3.
Yeah, lovely map. I actually played it. I'm not a very, I hate hidden, I will admit it, but playing this on hidden actually kind of felt nice. So I'm kind of saying can't comprehend it. So I give Umaroth that tiny bit more motivation that they might be able to get the point. But this map is brutal in a way. I think there's 2 parts in the map where you've got to do like wiggles going up and down, but
yeah.
I think those parts might. I don't think they'll catch both these players off, but definitely could if they're not prepared for it. But
yeah, those wiggles, especially later in the map, can, you know, find some very unfortunate misses. I mean, we saw it in the match with Venezia and Shimoy, but Vampella does find a very early break on this map.
a bit early, but seems to be stabilizing now. Accuracy's pretty much the same. We're dropping a tiny bit more, but overall nothing too major.
Yeah, it's mostly that combo difference right now with that early break, with it being about 120 combo between them. Umaroth being the one holding that lead right now. And it's
here comes the first
wiggle part, which claims both. Oh, that is not ideal for Vampella. Both of them get claimed, and I think Vampella was a small bit shaken up by that because they found a few extra misses on top of it. And that accuracy lead is now definitely in favor of Umaroth, as Vampella is now 1% behind, and another miss coming out to kind of stop any chance of them bringing that score lead up sooner. There's still a third of the map left, and they both trade. Ooh.
Bella would really need to see Umaroth chain miss something, but apart from the next wiggle, they miss again. Unfortunate. Could be it, potentially. Even if Umaroth combos up to this wiggle here. Oh, it's actually hit by Umaroth. I think that just seals it on that one.
Yeah, that wiggle definitely just solidified Umaroth's point right there. Just, you know, bringing that point back home with confidence. I mean, 98% accuracy, 4% accuracy lead, and a bit more as Vampella, yeah, kind of standing by their point at the start of the map. Maybe not very comfortable on this hidden 3 because it's very awkward on that flow aim, and you can see it pretty much all throughout that map. Which means now Umaroth is 1 point in the lead, with it being 3-2 in their favor. But it is Vampella's pick, which means they do have a chance to bite back with a point of their own.
Umaroth with 98, that's pretty pretty decent hack on that as well. I haven't seen I haven't seen other accuracies if any previous people played. I've been missing a few matches, but definitely probably one of the higher ones of the week.
100%. And Vampella didn't even give any chance there. You know, for a small break, they immediately picked into this No More 4. A bit more of that different tech map. It's still a tech map, still slide attack. It's still a No More 4, but as you can tell from the song, it's just a bit different.
Yeah, interesting choice of the map this week, but we'll leave it. This map, yeah, slider intensive pretty much throughout it. Towards the end, the sliders get a bit, or is it in the middle? I think it's like middle to the end. Sliders get a bit intense, but
yeah,
we'll see. See who gets the bigger combo on this one.
Yeah, the middle of this map does have a lot of those longer sliders, and then the ending, from what I remember, does get a lot more intense, where it can basically be a constant back and forth between the players. As we have been brought back to the match, we can now see again. Umaroth is actually the one holding the lead right now, with it being 99% actually in their favor, compared to 97 from Vampella. So still very solid accuracies for both players here, and very comfortable. But, you know, it's kind of that 20k score lead right now in favor of Umaroth and this first almost half of the map. Yeah, the long slider doesn't claim either player, but Vampella finds an early miss, but Umaroth trades.
Thirds choke them both up a tiny bit.
Yeah, both finding those trades, which means that accuracy lead for Umaroth is going to be a lot more beneficial for them now, because they are, you know, just about 10 combo behind, which isn't going to be too fatal, but there's the miss, which might start causing problems. The 666 sliders don't claim either players, and neither do the 999s. And that score lead does now move over in favor of Vampella by just about 10k right now, because of that combo and the accuracy, you know, being even now. But there's the miss from Vampella, which is so unfortunate on that ending, because that score lead is going to start moving back over to favor of Umaroth in the last moments of the map. There isn't much left, and I don't even think if Umaroth missed now, there's going to be enough time, because that's the last. Oh, there's the slider break.
There's a slider.
Yeah, not even with the spinner was there enough chance. It went over to Vampella's favor, but then swapped straight back over to Umaroth with that final miss from Vampella, which is the first break point.
Even if there was a tiny bit mat left, it would have gone over, but no, unfortunately not. But we have to get the break point though. First point won by not picking your own map.
Yeah,
so that's feeling pretty good.
Oh yeah, but that mental must be there for them right now.
Oh, 100%. They've got their own pick now, so looking to accelerate their lead even further.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised, I will say myself, that we haven't seen a No Mod 1 picked yet, to be fair. They're both aim players. They both would be very confident on it. I think Umaroth would be slightly more comfortable on it. I'm surprised we've just not seen it yet.
They've so far strayed away from what's left of the DT pool. They've always literally any no mod hidden, harder up, gone into them, but DTs, they don't really want to do that. But you know, like we said at the start of the match, from the warm-ups, DT3 is still there. No mod 56. No mod 5 coming out.
Yeah, Umaroth seeming to be taking over that what's the word? Sorry. To be wanting to be cosplaying a mechanics player today and going straight into every mechanical map that they have. They've picked the No Mod 2. They're now picking the No Mod 5 with those 230 BPM bursts and streams, with it being very dense on that combo, from what I remember. And then, you know, there's also that DT3, which is still available to them. I'm not surprised no one's picked DT yet because of what those DT maps are. But, you know, we could see a pick. Well, we could see a pick from Umaroth coming out where they picked that DT3 if possible.
This map's quite oh, and they okay. I was going to say quite comfy, but both of them kind of dropping a lot of ack and misses. Got 78, 79 to 65. What is? Oh dear.
Yeah, that mechanical struggle coming up for both players. I mean, yeah, as I keep mentioning, they're both aim players, so sending them to a map like this in No Mod 5 is, you know, one of those gambles that, you know, you probably wouldn't want to risk as an aim player, but I'm guessing based off the warm-up that Umaroth chose, where they were like picking that 230 BPM stream map, they were kind of testing the waters to see what this map could do for them. And as it going so far, just, you know, based off the accuracy, both of them on quite extremely low accuracies, both on low combos, but Umaroth is the one edging out that score right now by just about 11k due to a small bit of that combo lead and about 12% accuracy lead.
Yep, Umaroth did have a bit of combo there, but just dropped it. But we're already halfway through the map, and Umaroth's pretty much got double the score of Vampella. I think if it keeps going this way, it might just stay over to them.
Yeah, I mean, just, you know, what's needed for Vampella right now is to build that accuracy and combo, but, you know, they don't have that confidence on this 230, and that is showing. I mean, this map, don't get me wrong, isn't exactly easy. I mean, it's comfortable in the sense of aim and tapping, but it doesn't make it easy at all. You still have to have that baseline 230 tapping ability, which, I mean, what I'm looking at right now, I don't think either player is exactly comfortable with. And yeah, that score lead's just going to keep building for Umaroth because they have that small bit of an accuracy lead.
Onto the end of the map. I think Umaroth's got it. 77 act towards the 65. Pretty much it was just an act battle. No combo really anywhere for either of them.
Yeah, I say there's no combo for either player there. I mean, the C rank and D rank, it's a bit different. You know, neither neither player very mechanical, especially showing up on that No Mod 5, but you know, it's a point to Umaroth. There was their pick, and there was a point they wanted to take, and it's definitely a point they got to take home. Sorry about that. Just coughing a small bit and trying not to. You can say Vampella does immediately swing back by picking into the hidden one, which is not something I'd have expected too much. I mean, I know there's not really a hard rock on the board anymore because the hard rock 3 did get banned, but picking into something that your opponent has been very consistent on and been winning a lot on, I wouldn't be too surprised.
Yeah, I mean, both for aim players, you know, a map just with the hidden on top. But again, you know, we said earlier, not really a lot. I wouldn't say there's like a majorly any maps left, but you know, again, they do not want to go for the DTs one bit. So Vampella's got to look at this point here, or else could be the end of the line. But if they're feeling confident, why not?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Vampella is on that uphill battle now. I mean, it is match point in favor of Umaroth, so Vampella has to basically start playing out of their mind if they want a chance to bring it back. They both do trade early misses, but Vampella does hold a very early accuracy lead by about 2%, if I see that correctly.
I think it's what, 90, pretty much, 96, 98. But Umaroth does find another drop, so Vampella does take the lead for the time being.
Yeah, and yeah, Umaroth maybe not as confident or comfortable on this map as we were expecting. Having quite a few early breaks, and oh, quite a chainless there, but it is trended out by Vampella, which means combos have been reset. There is a chance for Umaroth to fight back, but they do need to build that 4% accuracy deficit now. But they have got still 3/4 of the map remaining to do so.
Onto a bit of a slow part. People did get some combo here, but pretty much even. Vampella with like what, 13, 15 combo, but against this next jump section where anything can happen. But both of them kind of recovering from the early misses. The Rift does find quite a few misses there, so Vampella holding strong on that one.
Yeah, this is maybe our guesses at the start of the map were wrong. Vampella really showing in confidence on this map. I mean, running away with the score lead of 100k right now with almost 99% accuracy, and that massive combo lead now of almost 350, or just over 350, sorry. And that score lead is just going to keep growing further and further for them. Umaroth, you know, kind of is recovering accuracy a bit, but, you know, just doesn't have enough yet, and another miss coming out from them too. There is still half of the map remaining, which means if Vampella finds a miss about now, and then a few more misses later, Umaroth could bring it back, but it is going to be such an RNG, like, uphill battle for Umaroth that I wouldn't count on this, and I'd start maybe thinking about what the next map will be.
Oh, no, 100%. I mean, obviously, you can't really see the accuracies of each person when you're in the match, but, you know, if you've obviously seen the 580 combo from Vampella, they're probably just thinking, you know, GG, go next one.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a decent estimate based off their combo and scoreline if you've got that tournament experience. And, you know, you can probably guess that Vampella has high accuracy as it is. And Umaroth having found another break just there and seeing that Vampella hasn't. At that point, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, and you can see that Umaroth is upset about it. They haven't been able to close the match out just yet, but, you know, they still have so many points available to do. They have 3 points still, 3 or 4 maps remaining to, you know, change that, well, to bring the match to an end. But they have secured tiebreaker at minimum, so even if Vampella goes on a god run now, they at least are not guaranteed to be immediately out without a tiebreaker.
I'm going to comboing through this last bit. Shows the early miss was just a bit of an unfortunate, or the few misses that they had, just a bit unfortunate. $99.11. Pretty good. 2800s, 3 misses. Lovely score.
Yeah, generally
it proves that it was the right pick.
Yeah, it was a perfect pick, I would honestly say, for Vampella to go into. I mean, Jin is just absolute dominance on that hidden one, which was not the expectation if we're going to go off the first 2 hiddens we got to see, but it doesn't really matter too much on the expectations. It's what matters is what actually happens in match, and Vampella has proven that. 8 debuff. I'd assume that that means Umaroth nose is blocked. Same here, Umaroth. Same here. Don't you worry. Illness. The UK illness right now is not going well.
Oh, I had it a few weeks ago, so it's going around up and down the country. Let's see what Umaroth's next pick is here. They've literally only got what? The number 1, number 3, and both the DTs. So they're going to have to play the DTs at some point. Actually, no, they will not. Unless Vampella wins, hypothetically, both no mods, if they were picked. But she's going to go for the mod 3, which is a complete banger in the map pool.
Crazy noise, bizarre town. Gotta love a good old bit of JoJo's. Yeah, Vampella could theoretically get the chance to play both no mods here, but if I'm going to go off what this match has been so far, I generally am kind of expecting Umaroth to pick DC3 when they get the chance to, just because it would kind of guarantee them closing out the match. But right now, that's not the case, because we get to see the no mod 3 from Vampella's pick. Umaroth's pick, sorry. Never mind, I'm backwards right now. Wait, why is it? Wait, did Umaroth pick no mod 3?
Yes.
Okay, then. Never mind. I was expecting Umaroth to pick DT3, not no mod 3.
Yeah, no, this is number 3, this one. They're getting me backwards now. Umaroth picked this one. Yeah, again, straight away from the DTs, which I think in most matches, some sort of DT has been played. So we might get, you know, the first match where not a single one has been played, which is understandable. The DTs in this pool are very, very tricky, and all quite volatile to an extent. But we'll see how this map comes. Early miss from Umaroth. But so far, again, early days, the early misses don't mean too much.
Yeah, I mean, the miss was literally about 20-30 combo in, so the main difference between them right now will be that accuracy, but they are pretty much identical on that accuracy. Umaroth, I think, about 0.2 behind, which isn't all that much, to be fair. And it's just going to be a combo battle between these two players, which right now is fighting tooth and nail. They're both playing extremely well on this normal 3, holding on to those 400 combos respectively, as we get past the first third of the match without problems from either player to ignore the intro for Umaroth.
Both players get through that. Accuracy's in I think in Umaroth's favor. Yeah, Umaroth's favor. So it assumes a bit down. Let's say down. Pixelated. But we can still see. Pretty even though. So definitely have to add it. Umaroth does drop that. That is not ideal for Umaroth. If Vampella keeps going crushing this map, could just go to them.
Yeah, Vampella's had, since they got to that map point mark, they've been playing out of their mind almost. Like, they were playing well before they got to map point, but then the moment they got their back put against the wall, the moment that the pressure was really laid on, they've been putting out absurd score after absurd score. I mean, the Hidden One, genuinely insane score. This being an insane score so far, but this does come out for Vampella. The accuracy is in lead of Umaroth, which means there is a chance for a comeback. It's about 250k score they need to close in the last quarter. There's not much map left. I don't even know if it's going to be possible, because Umaroth doesn't have, that much combo. But that 300 combo, and if they FC the ending, could be just enough if they're lucky. That accuracy difference, I think almost 99 for Umaroth. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. I don't think there's enough time at all, especially to close 140k difference, but it was closing quickly. If there was maybe another 30 seconds, it definitely would have been winnable. But, with it being 100k, 110k difference basically between them, just sadly not enough time for Umaroth, and it's another breakpoint for Vampella. And once again, it's another pick for Vampella, which means they are open to pick anything. And my assumption, which might be wrong at this point, is that it's going to be the No Mod 1 or the DT4. And I think it'll be the No Mod 1 if they're going to play into their comfort picks, but I don't know what
No Mod 1.
more. Yeah, No Mod 1. I just don't know what would be more beneficial for Vampella. DT3, definitely off the board, of course, with what that kind of map is. Umaroth taking the timeout, understandable. They might need it. They are not necessarily shaky when it comes to nerves, but a bit shaky when it comes to those scores on the last two maps. Yeah, we're just going to be seeing that normal 1. I don't know who I would favour on this map. Both of them are great aim players. A small bit of like that mechanical advantage for Umaroth. But this map isn't too mechanical. There are bursts of streams here and there, sure, but it's nothing absolutely insane.
Yeah, I think this is what I generally would not be able to tell you who would win this. Obviously, it's Vampella's pick, so whoever picks a map, you'd always favour them to win it, because if they're confident in picking it, you'd think they'd win it. But both of these players, really good aim players, and they're playing the Hidden 2, the Hidden 1, and that No Mod 4. No, not No Mod 4, No Mod 3. So I get my No Mods mixed up. Seem pretty good on the aim, so if they've got that flow state, and they take it into No Mod 1, they could just force it to TV.
Yeah, it could be likely the most likely match to go into that tiebreaker. But, it is very dependent on this point going to Vampella's side. And this map it's not necessarily difficult in the sense of it being, high SR or really difficult, awkward aim. But it's, still a consistency test. And it's got just enough difficulty where, that consistency really is checked. And that comfortability is going to have to be there if you want to succeed on a map like this.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like you said, it's a consistency map. So basically, whoever is playing more consistent will win it. But again, combo could come in, accuracy could come in. We've seen it all over this match, but people having higher combos, high accuracies. So I have to see what it comes down to in the end.
Yeah, 100%. I am very interested to see how close this match gets to being tiebreaker. If it does go to tiebreaker, I think it'd be quite fun if we go tiebreaker because we're having small technical issues. We're having small internet issues in the back here, and if it goes to tiebreaker, it'd be so much funnier. But you know, for the players, I hope it is as close as possible. This is one of those cases where I want both players to win. I mean, I've kind of always been like that, where if I'm watching a match, I always want both teams to win. But in this case, I really do, because both these players have been performing so well this entire tournament, and you know, one of them coming from losers bracket pretty much the entire time and fighting so well all the way up versus someone who just recently came to the losers bracket and, you know, fought very well in the upper bracket and is still fighting here now.
You always love to see a miracle run in any tournament, and I feel like the more of a miracle it is, you know, from Vampalla's side, pretty much been in the losers bracket since the start, and it's kind of, you know, the more they get through it, could just get more fans under their belt.
Yeah, I mean,
which is kind of always nice to see. It's always nice to see. But you know, like you just said, Umaroth coming from just recently with the losers bracket, they'd expect not themselves to win, but they'd always expect to be playing a tiny bit better. You know, from their last match, if I have a look at it, if I could find it, against Morale or Curry, 6-3 loss, but you know, 3 points, pretty decent. And now coming to this one, 1 point off, but we'll see if Vampella can either get the point or Roth to close it out. But again, like we said a minute ago, it's anyone's game on this one.
Yeah,
both players are playing really, really good.
Yeah, it seems Umaroth is back as well, which means we are going to be going into the map relatively soon, hopefully. Long day.
Always a long day.
Yeah, true that, true that.
Always a long day in the UK scene.
Yeah, that's our entire thing.
Right, getting into the map. 3 minutes 30. Yeah. I think it's the longest map in the pool, minus tiebreaker, of course. So a lot of time to put up combo, and Vampella dropping a lot of ACK and combo there, but seems to be a recurring theme in this one. Dropping combo very early and then building it back up, but we'll see.
Yeah, tactical misses. That's where it's at. Can't be nervous if you've already messed out in the map, right?
No, it's a valid tactic. Some people do it. It does calm the nerves a tiny bit. But at the same time, you do lose a tiny bit of lead, and it could always bite you back. You know, say if both players FC, but you miss at the start, not gonna be happy with that one.
Yeah, and especially when it comes with a massive accuracy drop, like we've seen with Vampella, who's dropping accuracy on a lot of these bursts and streams, compared to Umaroth, who is sitting at such a confident 99.3% right now. I mean, that accuracy drop definitely wasn't going to be ideal. And I mean, the score lead isn't too much right now, but it's as we get later into the map where that accuracy lead really does start to show its colors. And, you know, it's still relatively close to that combo, you know, just that 30 combo difference. A small bit of shake for Umaroth, but not enough to be a problem Umaroth actually, to be fair, since that timeout, looking a lot more confident on these picks. Well, on this pick, sorry. I mean, they weren't necessarily shaking with nerves beforehand, but their scores were definitely a bit wavering. But now they are just coming out with that cool confidence.
Yeah, I mean, Umaroth taking the timeout probably just gave themselves a breather, just so they could calm a bit of any nerves that might be going through their heads and hands, of course, as it being Osu. But seems to be doing pretty well. Tactical reset on them might have just helped them out a lot on this one. And
yeah,
even though with the early drop and accuracy, seems to be stabilizing a tiny bit better now.
Yeah, Vampella, definitely having quite a decent recovery, going to that 95% accuracy mark, but Umaroth is still on that 97.7, which is definitely going to be benefiting them towards the ending. But they're both still holding on to pretty much both of them, I'm seeing. I mean, Vampella did come out with such an early break, but, it was so early and it might as well count as an FC, but, as I mentioned it, the miss comes out for Vampella on the small bit of a awkward jump div spike in basically the last third of the map, and that now means that Umaroth's score is going to start snowballing in their favor, and the miss does come out, but they had about that 1000 combo. They still have such an accuracy lead, and Vampella doesn't have that major combo to back it up, and a miss on the stream. Yeah, that mechanical prohibitor there, it's just kind of coming out and showing, which means I mean, there's still a map left. If Umaroth does kind of fumble quite a bit here, there's still a chance, but with another miss coming out from Vampella, I think that might be closing out this match in Umaroth's favor, taking a very, very well-timed tactical timeout to bring them that confidence they needed to play this No Mod 1.
Yeah, I think even if both of them were, sorry, I phrase that, if Umaroth missed, hypothetically, and Vampella was holding, I think the accuracy difference might have just kept it in Umaroth's favour towards the end, but that will be it. Umaroth wins 6-4.
Yeah.
And proceeds through the losers bracket.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for Vampella. They went to the losers bracket in the round of 32, and they'd made it all the way up to the semi-finals, fighting for their lives in the losers bracket, but Umaroth does decide to take an end to that run. It was a close match. It was so well played for Vampella. They were down early. They were having to fight such an uphill battle. They started bringing it back. They got it to the point where if they'd won that map, it was tiebreaker, but Umaroth, decided to use their timeout they had available and give themselves that reset, which allowed them to win the match. Which means Umaroth does continue through the losers bracket, and sadly Vampella doesn't get to play anymore.
Unfortunate, but what a run from Vampella. Like you said, from round of 32 losers straight to semis. I mean, you can't be angry with that. That's a lovely run.
Yeah, absolutely insane run.